Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into a really fascinating courtside conversation. It all got sparked by that recent Lakers versus Warriors game.
Yeah, that one was intense. A
Yep.
real nail biter and, with serious playoff implications hanging in the balance.
Exactly. And to really get into the buzz around this matchup, we're looking closely at an article from Yardbarker. It breaks down what ESPN's Stephen A. Smith said right after the game on First Take.
Right, because Stephen A, he kind of threw out this big question.
A real head scratcher.
Totally. Like, what's actually better for the NBA? Is it Steph Curry and the Warriors going deep in the playoffs, or is it LeBron James and the Lakers making that push?
It's a question that really peels back layers, doesn't it, about, what actually drives fan excitement and the league's narrative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the game itself, the context is super important here. LeBron, he had a great game, 33 points, 9 assists.
Yeah, impressive numbers.
But the Lakers still lost to the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And Curry, well, he led the way with 37 points.
He was on fire.
And that win, it made the Western Conference standings even tighter, put the Warriors just one game behind the Lakers.
But here's the key twist, right? Even with that loss for LA, the Lakers still hold the tiebreaker. They won the season series 3-1.
Crucial point. So, yeah, the Warriors closed the gap, but the Lakers have that edge if it comes down to it.
Okay, so Stephen A. poses this better for the NBA question.
No.
What was his first reaction? Did he, immediately pick a side?
Interestingly, no. He actually said it was a really tough question. He emphasized that you could make strong arguments for both.
Right.
That hesitation itself kind of tells you something,
Yeah.
about how complex defining better even is in this context.
Yeah, it's not simple at all. You've got two absolute icons, huge fan bases, so much history. But, okay, he did eventually land somewhere. Which way did he lean?
He did. Ultimately, he concluded that a deep playoff run by LeBron James and the Lakers would be the more impactful outcome for the league right now.
Okay, interesting. And his reasoning, what was behind that thinking?
Well, it really centers on LeBron's career stage. He's in his 22nd NBA season, he's going to be 40.
22nd season.
Yeah. Smith pointed out that, look, LeBron's still playing at an unbelievably high level. The article even says he doesn't look his age on court.
He really doesn't. It's incredible.
But there's still that inherent uncertainty. How many more of these high-stakes playoff runs does he realistically have left? Smith used that phrase, you never know when father time will catch up to you.
That resonates, doesn't it? It puts a different kind of weight on every single playoff game when a player has that much mileage.
Exactly.
It adds this layer of, is this the last time kind of feeling, makes each big performance feel potentially historic, even though he's still playing like an all-star. It gives the whole narrative this urgency.
That's precisely Smith's point. He argues that because of that sort of potentially finite window, a deep playoff push now carries this unique significance. It would generate a broader impact on the league's storylines, fan engagement, all that stuff.
Right.
It taps into that emotional pull, witnessing a legend, maybe adding one more big chapter right at the end of his career.
It's interesting how that story itself, defying expectations late in the game, becomes so compelling. Now, the article also briefly touches on the history between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron. What's the deal there?
Yeah, it mentioned some recent back and forth between them. Specifically, it brings up a Lakers-Knicks game from a few weeks before where there seemed to be some, let's say, tension.
Ah, okay, so not always seeing eye to eye.
Could put it mildly, yeah. But the article also notes LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show and suggests that maybe some of that friction has lessened a bit.
Gotcha. So it sounds like Smith's take here isn't necessarily driven by, personal feelings about LeBron one way or the other.
That seems to be the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
The focus really feels like it's shifted to the bigger picture for the NBA's appeal.
Yeah.
Rather than any personal stuff between them.
Makes sense. It does make you wonder sometimes how those off-court dynamics play into the commentary we hear.
For sure.
Okay, zooming out a bit. The article also reminds us about where both the Lakers and Warriors have been recently in the playoffs. What's that recent history look like?
Well, both teams have actually spent time in the play-in tournament in recent seasons. Not exactly where franchises like that want to be.
Definitely not.
So this year, their clear goal, obviously, is locking up a top 6 seed in the West. They want to avoid that whole extra play-in pressure cooker.
Yeah, absolutely. That shared goal just adds another layer of intensity whenever they play each other. And for their whole season outlook, really.
Right. Raises the stakes.
And just to circle back quickly to the game that kicked this whole thing off, those standout performances from LeBron and Curry.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron was great, 33 points, 9 assists, really solid game.
Hmm.
But Curry, man, 37 points. He was arguably the most impactful player on the floor for the Warriors.
Just a classic Curry performance when they needed it.
Exactly. A
Yeah.
real showcase of what both those guys can still do.
Okay, so bringing it all together then. The core of Stephen A's argument for why a deep LeBron playoff run would be better right now is what?
It really boils down to time. The idea that time might be running out for LeBron to make another major playoff run at this super elite level.
Hmm.
And the historical weight, the narrative impact of him doing that at age 40. Smith believes that would resonate more powerfully and ultimately benefit the league's overall appeal the most at this specific moment.
It really makes you think about what we value as fans, doesn't it? So for you, the listener listening to this, what resonates more? Is it that idea of seeing a legend like LeBron make one more potentially final epic surge through the playoffs?
Or, are you maybe more captivated by the sustained brilliance, the dynamic style of Steph Curry and the Warriors continuing their run?
And it brings up that bigger question, right? Is better for the NBA just about individual stars and their stories? What about like the league's overall health and competitiveness?
Exactly. Could you argue that a deep Warriors run, showcasing their established system and that unique style is just as good, maybe even better for inspiring other teams or cementing a different kind of legacy?
That's a crucial point. Is the main goal amplifying the story of the aging legend, or is there maybe more value in highlighting the sustained excellence of another powerhouse?
And what about economics? Does the Lakers run automatically draw more casual fans because it's LeBron with his global brand? Or do the Warriors, with their own huge established following, have a similar kind of pull?
Good question. Or what about younger fans? Who do they connect with more? The established legends reaching the end, or the sort of dynamic play and continued success of a team like Golden State?
So many layers. It's definitely not just about the immediate buzz. What's really better long-term is complicated.
And beyond just the stars, what about the style of play? A deep Warriors run really showcases that, revolutionary offense, the ball movement.
Yeah, the beautiful game stuff.
Yeah. Right. Could that be seen as better for pushing innovation across the league? Whereas maybe a Lakers run highlights a more traditional star-driven approach.
That's a really interesting angle. You could definitely argue that the Warriors' success with their specific style encourages other teams to adapt, maybe leading to a more diverse league overall.
Whereas a LeBron-led run, while super captivating, does it have the same kind of like strategic ripple effect across the NBA?
Maybe not in the same way. It really just underlines how subjective this whole better for the NBA thing is. There's no single right answer.
Totally depends on what you personally find compelling about the sport.
Exactly. Is it the emotion of a player's journey? Is it the strategic side? Is it seeing new teams rise up?
And this whole situation with LeBron and Steph really puts a spotlight on how we value different career stages, different ways to win.
Precisely. It's always this balance, isn't it? Celebrating the individual legends versus appreciating team dynamics and how the game itself evolves.
Well, this definitely gave us a lot to chew on, way beyond just the box score of that one game.
For sure.
The whole discussion from Stephen A. Smith really unpacks some fascinating stuff about what keeps us hooked on the NBA. Thanks for digging into this with us.
My pleasure. Always good to explore these angles.
And for you, the listener, think about it. What does better truly mean to you when you think about the NBA? Is it the narrative, the star power, the actual gameplay, or maybe the impact a team's success has on the whole league? The stories of LeBron and Steph, even now, keep giving us these great questions to ponder. Until our next deep dive, keep those thoughts bouncing.